So we've got some, I like to say, amusing news regarding the future of Star Wars movies after Episode 9. As most of you know by now, Disney has cancelled the plans of its A Star Wars Story anthology film series after how poor Solo did. But they do have Benioff and Weiss' trilogy along with Rian Johnson's trilogy still on track to be delivered after 2019. Now, until this point, we've known literally nothing about either of these trilogies, and in all fairness, still don't know that much about them, other than they are what Disney sees as the future of Star Wars movies. However, in the last week or so, we've received some new tidbits about these two trilogies, and it's really not what I expected. Starting out with Benioff and Weiss, originally we had no idea what they're working on, other than initially told that they were working on a series of Star Wars movies. But with a recent, well, I guess you could call it a leak from the head of HBO, we now know that they're working on a trilogy. I'm not sure why Disney didn't want to reveal that at first, as the news of them creating a movie series was very broad. Mainly because a series could be literally anything from 2 to even 5 movies, and none of them could be directly related to each other. But now we know for sure that they're doing a trilogy, so that means all 3 movies are going to be obviously related to each other with the same characters, theme, overall plot, and so on. In addition to this, Making Star Wars, which is one of the most credible sources of Star Wars leaks, has also confirmed that this trilogy will be intended for an adult audience. Now, while this may not sound like anything interesting at first, it will make a lot more sense with what's to come next. As yes, Rian Johnson is still going to be doing his trilogy, and according to Making Star Wars, this trilogy will be intended for children. In addition to this, Disney had originally planned for Johnson's trilogy to come out first after Episode 9, but after how critical fan reception of The Last Jedi was and how disappointing Solo did in the box office, Disney changed their minds and instead pushed back the Johnson trilogy, having now Benioff and Weiss' trilogy come out first. The plan is we'll get a year for Benioff and Weiss' trilogy, then the next year for Johnson's trilogy, then the year after that Benioff and Weiss' trilogy, and yeah, you get the idea. Now, the news of a Star Wars trilogy being more adult-skewed than what we're used to being done, while another trilogy being more kid-skewed, clearly hints at Disney looking for diversity in its cinematic offerings and expanding the Star Wars fanbase even more. And as long as Johnson's trilogy is still adult-accessible and quality, kind of like how Disney's Pixar movies are, then I think it can be done well. And seeing Disney release Star Wars Rebels and Resistance, 2 TV shows aimed at a younger audience, along with miniseries like Galaxies of Adventures. So when you think about it, it was only a matter of time until Disney took a more kid-oriented Star Wars approach to the big screen. Now, some other interesting rumors that have also been coming out lately is that Benioff and Weiss' trilogy will focus on the Old Republic timeline, but not the one that we know of currently in Legends, but rather a completely different retelling of it. Meanwhile, rumors from individuals working behind the scenes at Lucasfilm have also emerged around Johnson's trilogy, claiming that it will be set sometime after Episode 9, and be featured around the new Jedi Academy, following the adventures of a group of kids becoming Jedi. I think I even heard it being described as a Star Wars version of Harry Potter or Harry Potter in space, with Tamerlan Blaev, who was the broom boy from The Last Jedi, expected to come back for a bigger role. Personally, I never really seen the Harry Potter movies, so I can't judge or decide how a Star Wars version of that would even look like, or if it would be good. But it's smart of Disney that they will be rotating adult and kid Star Wars movies like this, as I definitely can't imagine them having only the kid-oriented Johnson trilogy ever being a good idea. At least this way, there'll be something for each demographic every other year. And I'm sure all those people who love The Last Jedi and Harry Potter will be excited for Johnson's trilogy. But then again, these are rumors. Nothing is confirmed until Disney says so. It's possible that we could hear some new details emerge about Johnson's and Benioff and Weiss' trilogies at Star Wars Celebration this year. But even then, I still expect the information to be rather sparse, as Benioff and Weiss' trilogy is rumored to be released around 2021. So there's still quite a bit of time until then. But let me know what you all think. Are you on board with the idea of having an adult-oriented Star Wars movie followed by a kid-oriented movie the following year? And even then, does the idea of a Harry Potter in space like Jedi Academy trilogy from Johnson even interest you? And if it does, let me know if you've seen the Harry Potter movies, just out of curiosity. And 7 from Silo, signing out.